I feel like I have so many books that I want to read in April, but at the same time, like, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. Yeah, stay focused, Cam, stay focused. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's doing good. So today we have a new video and it is an April TBR. I almost said March. We have an April TBR. I've never done a TBR before just because normally I just read what I feel like reading. I never have like a set schedule of books that I want to read. So right now I'm just like, in order to get my TBR cart down to a manageable level, I am going to force myself to read particular books. And I've done that once before and it actually worked out for me because I was just like, you can't buy more books until you read the ones you got. So I have a mixture of YA fiction, I have an adult mystery in here, I do have some middle grade mysteries in here as well. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first book that I'm going to be reading, it is going to be Trading Secrets by Rachel Eccles. So this book, the publisher kindly sent me a copy, and this one, it is an ARC, so there are a couple pages in here where they're blank. So here's the synopsis. It says, Celeste Donovan, a high-powered finance executive, seems to have it all: the penthouse apartment, the supermodel physique with a mathematician mind, and a trail of beautiful men she has loved and left behind. But when her boyfriend Theodore is killed in a mysterious accident, she discovers Omar, her abusive ex she had hoped would never resurface, is behind his death. Now she's caught in a game of cat and mouse, trying to anticipate Omar's next move as she realizes he will stop at nothing to get her. She sets out alone on a whirlwind journey to entrap him, determined to put an end to Omar's destruction. So this book sounds really, really interesting. And when they pitched it to me, I was like, okay, I'm down. Let's give it a try. So this book, I'm not sure when this book is released. I'll have to put it around me somewhere when it comes out released. But Trading Secrets by Rachel Eccles, this one's going to be one of the ones that I take a read in April. So the next book that I'm going to be reading is From Blood and Ash. So this book is about a girl named Poppy, and she is a maiden, and in this book, maidens are not to be looked at. You can't touch them, you can't talk to them, you can't do anything to them because they are meant to be for the gods. And they call it an ascension, to where she's gifted to the gods, and when she comes back, then she's free to do, I guess, as she pleases. But then Poppy really just wants to fight in the war with the guards that killed her family and take revenge. But then Poppy meets the person she's supposed to ascend with, and she starts to have feelings for him, and she's caught between fulfilling her duties as the maiden, fighting the army, and then basically not being worthy of being sent to the gods. So she has all kinds of things going on, and this is a big boy. So this book, it's probably, how many pages is this? There's 613 pages in this. I don't remember how far I'm into it. I think I'm not quite on page 100. I just started reading this book, but I figured I would give this book a go because the next book that I'm going to be talking about, I did already read the first book and I'm on the second book. But yes, From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. I don't know, I actually like that last name, Armentrout. I'm sorry. This book is a trilogy, so my friend is already on the third book and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to keep up. But yes, we're gonna read this guy. The next book I'm going to be reading is From Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. So I did read A Court of Thorn and Roses, loved it, enjoyed it very, very much. Clearly because I'm reading the second book and I got a little bit to go, but I'm going to try and finish this book also in the month of April. So this book, it's about a girl named Freya, where she's continuing her journey in the world of the Fae, and she also has to save her family from impending doom between the war of the human world and then also the Fae world. So this book, there are, I believe, 4 to 5 books in the series, and she just came out with, Sarah J Maas did come out with the last current book. I'm not sure if it's going to be the last book of the series, but the most recent book, she did come out with that one. And I'm trying not to buy ahead of the books. When I read a trilogy and I get excited, what I tend to do is buy the whole series, but this one I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy anything until I finish this book. But I'm already, how many pages am I in? I'm 136 pages in, and I just started this book earlier this week as well. Expand your horizons. Read a fantasy novel, and I actually liked it because I'm reading 2 fantasy novels at the same time now, and I couldn't have been more wrong. But yes, A Court of Mist and Fury, we're going to try and finish this book in the month of April. So the next book I'm going to try and read is Spirit Hunters by Ellen O. So this book is about a girl named Harper where she moves to a new house in New York with her family. It's like this old Victorian house, and she is starting to experience the paranormal in her brother's room. And she is, I believe she is a medium because she can, I think she can see them. It says that there are rumors that Rain's family's new house is haunted. Unexplainable events and tragedies seem to have befallen every family who's ever lived there. Harper isn't sure she believes those rumors until her younger brother Michael starts acting strangely. Oh, okay, that's right. The whole atmosphere gives Harper a sense of deja vu, but she can't remember why. Harper knows the memories she's blocking will help make sense of her brother's behavior and the strange and dangerous sensations she feels in this house, but will she be able to put the pieces together in time? So this book, there are 2 books in the series. I do have the second book. I think there's a third one, or I could be mistaken. It could just be 2. I thought this one was a pretty interesting read. It's a little short, it's a little baby book. So I wanted to give this one a read in the month of April just to give myself a break to space it out in between from Blood and Ash and of Court of Mist and Fury, just to give myself a little bit of break from the other books. The next book I'm going to be trying to read is Theodosia and the Serpents of Chaos. So this book is also a middle grade mystery book, but I am a huge sucker for Egyptology. When I was younger, I used to actually want to be an Egyptologist, but I got older, other things started to interest me and I changed my mind. But this book is about a girl named Theodosia where her parents are archaeologists and she's in Egypt, but Theodosia also has, I believe she's a medium, and she can see the energy and spirits coming from the artifacts that her parents are bringing to the British Museum. So Theodosia takes it upon herself to do rituals on the artifacts so they don't harm anybody that comes into the museum. But there's one particular artifact that comes into the museum and takes possession of her cat in the middle of her trying to rid it of bad energy. And so now her cat, which is this little guy right here, is possessed with one of these Egyptian gods and is causing chaos throughout the museum. But then there's also a villain who is trying to get the cat as well and the artifact and sell it on the black market. So Theodosia has to stop this villain and also has to save her cat from being consumed by this Egyptian god. We usually don't get a lot of books with Egyptology or have like that ancient Egypt background to where it goes more into like the history of the Egyptian gods, because this one, it does give you a little bit of a history lesson about Egyptian gods as well. So I just thought it was a good read. My favorite thing is history. I love history. I almost went to honor history in high school, but too much work. I wasn't gonna do that. I wanted to give this book a good read, and I also bought, I know I said I don't do that, but I also bought the last 3 books in the series because I know for a fact because I know for a fact that I'm gonna finish this book. Theodosia is actually hilarious. Like, I just found myself laughing in the book. I thought she was funny. She's hilarious in this book. Yes, I thought this one was an interesting read, and this was something that I do want to read in the month of April. My TBR cart is right here and it's so heavy I have to turn it. Oh boy. Another book that I am wanting to read, it is called Premeditated Myrtle. You guys know how I feel about my book puns. No, nobody. Okay. So Premeditated Myrtle, adorable. I love the title. That's partially why I picked it up. I don't even remember where I saw this book. I think I was on Goodreads and I saw it and I was like, I want it. I want it. It is about a girl named Myrtle, to where it says that she has a highly unconventional obsession with criminal science. It says, armed with her father's law books and her mom's microscope, Myrtle studies toxicology, keeps abreast of the latest developments in crime scene analysis, and observes her neighbors in the quiet village of Swinburne, England. When her next-door neighbor, a wealthy spinster and eccentric breeder of rare flowers, dies under mysterious circumstances, Myrtle is sure Miss Wodehouse has been murdered. With her unflappable governess, Miss Ada Judson, by her side, Myrtle takes it upon herself to prove the crime and find Miss Wodehouse's killer. I thought this was interesting because it talks about like the toxicology reports and going under the microscope, and that's not really something that I've ever read about in a middle grade mystery or even a young adult mystery, except for Good Girl's Guide to Murder. That's probably the only book where it really got into like the science of murder. It seems really not advanced, but a little bit more in depth as far as the murder, and then the main character is into CSI basically. So I thought that was really cool, and I definitely want to give this book a good read in the month of April. All right, you guys, that is it for my TBR. I am not sure if I'm going to get to all of these books for the month of April, but I'm going to try to do my best to read as many as I can. I'm already halfway done with 2 of the books, so we're going to see how the rest goes. And then I'm going to start my next pile of books that I want to read for the month of May. So hopefully I can get through all of these books, so that way I don't have to like add on to my TBR list, because I really want to buy more books, but I'm really also trying to not buy any more books that I am not going to get to read this year. I do have a ton of more books that I got from the library, so if you guys want to see another book haul or anything else about any of the books that I'm currently reading, please let me know in the comments down below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.